Hello, BookTube. It's Friday, and it's time for Friday Reads. These Fridays are coming around very quickly, most of the time. This week is a bit slower. Another not great week for reading. A week ago, yesterday, so the previous Thursday, I got my first vaccination, and that has sent me for a loop. Um, Immediate, like within 2 hours, I had quite severe reaction to it, and then it's progressed from there. But I'm starting to feel better, and but it has affected my reading this week. I'd started on that day before I got the inoculation, the book to film, which is McTeague by Frank Norris, 1899, and the film by Eric von Stroheim, 1923 or 24. Um, and that was the plan, to do it past Saturday, or a week ago tomorrow. But that didn't happen, and I didn't even have this finished until Saturday. Finish the book. My plan was to finish it basically Friday morning, but it didn't happen. So, but I eventually finished this, as I say, on Saturday, and I started another one, but I only read the first short story. It's one of these crime clubs, detective clubs. It's called the Crime Club, this one, and they they did have a crime club series as well, but these are the detective clubs, and this one is short stories, as I say, by Frank Forrest, who was in CID Scotland Yard, and then George Didnt. It was originally published in 1915, and then was in the Detective Story Club in 1929. It's pretty good so far. I'll continue reading that this week. And I've mentioned, and probably you've seen videos by their co-hosts for an upcoming event in November called New Worlds November. It's we're celebrating short form science fiction, short stories, novellas, and novelettes, and even very short novels, but anything under 250 pages. And there are four themes. It'll be a weekly theme. First week is aliens. Second week is robots and AI. Third week is time travel. And the fourth week is post-apocalyptic fiction slash dystopian. And there's quite a few of us that are, I think there's about 15. There will be official announcements closer to the time with a complete list of all the hosts. Um, but there, like I say, there's quite a few in the group. So in the meantime, we've been doing sort of buddy reads, and they started out with, I think, Shannara, Terry Brooks, I believe it is. It's fantasy, so I haven't been that interested in it. But also, too, the next one was Gateway by Frederick Pohl, 1976. And I've read it before, and I thought, yeah, I've got it here. It's one of my SF Masters, which I'd missed out of the video that I did, along with two others. And I thought I'd reread it again. So, and they were starting it yesterday. I started reading this last night, and I finished it late this afternoon. I enjoyed it again. I have my issues with Frederick Pohl, but this is a really, really good story. So that's what does it. It's the first volume of a series called the Hichi Saga. There's approximately, I think there's 5 or 6 books. The newest one was done in 2004-5, which I haven't read. So since I've read this, I wouldn't mind reading through the whole series again if I can get cheap copies of the other ones. I'll have to look around and see. But it's just a fantastic premise where there's an alien race they call the Hichi, that was in the universe and in the solar system, you know, hundreds of thousands, a million years ago. And they found first, I think, to the story is they find tunnels on Venus that are by them. Somebody finds a little like one man or one Hichi lander, little spaceship, and he figures out how to sort of get it activated, and it takes him to a little asteroid that has 10,000 or so ships, like thousands and thousands of ships, either small ones like that or bigger ones. And they figure out how to get them going. They can't navigate with them. It's all pre-programmed. It's like you choose a combination of colors basically, or coordinates, and they have coordinates. There's five of them, and it takes you to a destination, but they don't know what that destination is going to be. They don't know if it's a planet or it's going to be the corona of a sun or inside a sun. They don't know, and it's faster than light travel, and they're looking for more technology, Hichi, or even alien race. By this time, the Earth is running out of food. There's people living in tunnels on Venus and on Mars, but there's a lot of poverty and starvation. So they're looking for this stuff, and they get volunteers to do this, and it's like Russian roulette. They shoot out these ships, and they may explode, they may disappear, they may never come back, or they may come back and find nothing. So it's fun. But the one thing that I really found annoying in this book is that he interspersed chapters of the character speaking to a therapist. I just find it bloody annoying, because they should not be in there. They should have just written it as a story and shown everything, the psychological breakdown and the problems that the main character has through the story. That's been a problem that I've had with Frederick Pohl, that he doesn't sort of, I don't know if it's because he doesn't quite have the skills to write that into the story, that he's got to, take you aside, like break the story, like break you out of the story and spoon feed you the ideas. Or he doesn't trust that the audience is smart enough to figure it out. I've never quite figured that out about Frederick Pohl, but he's done some damn good books, and this is one of them. It won several awards, so it's, if somebody wants a fun read, then yeah, I would recommend it for that. Some people like the interspersed chapters of the character Bob talking to his therapist, but it wasn't for me. And it was like, I don't know if I'll ever read this the third time, but if I ever do for a third time, I will sort of skip those chapters, I think, and make it a lot more interesting. Anyway, that's it, BookTube. I've got a scheduled video, a part 2 of my science fiction it's going to be a mini little series on on the science fiction books that I have here, which is very minuscule. I did it on the SF Masterworks, and then the one that's scheduled for Tuesday is about the British Library science fiction classics. Sorry, they're piled up, the cameras on top of them, so I had to look at the name again. The science fiction classics, edited by Mike Ashley. I've got, I think, 13 of the 17 books already published, and I just sort of go through those. They're more older ones, more golden age science fiction in general than the SF Masterworks. But they're both going to be, I think, or the SF Masterworks has about 135 or so books. They're all pretty good, but I think the British Library science fiction classics, if they do what I think is 100 books, then it will be a pretty good survey, I would say, of sort of golden age science fiction, and even possibly before. I don't know what their parameters are at this point. But anyway, I will let you go, BookTube, and I will see you next time. Bye.